Why did Jimin suddenly appear at the airport just hours after Jungkook flew to the United States? Was it a coincidence, a form of personal support, or is there something much bigger happening behind the scenes of the tightly guarded K-pop industry? The fact that these two BTS members were involved in sudden, almost simultaneous movements has left the public, especially ARMY, shocked and filled with major questions. Is this trip related to a solo project, internal HYB matters, or even a personal dynamic that the public has never seen? The commotion began from reports by several South Korean entertainment media stating that Jungkook, BTS's main vocalist, had departed for the United States via Incheon International Airport in the early morning. The departure had not been previously announced by the agency, was not accompanied by any official statement from HYB, and wasn't detected by the media until several fans on site recognized Jungkook from afar. His image, dressed in all black, wearing a cap and mask, spread rapidly in online communities, signaling a significant move from the idol. What made it even more shocking, just a few hours later, Jimin, another BTS member, was also caught on camera appearing at the airport, this time unaccompanied by major management staff and without the usual tight security. Speculation arose. Many questioned whether Jimin's presence at the airport was directly related to Jungkook's departure. Was this an impulsive move because of something urgent, or was it planned in advance? ARMY across platforms began piecing together bits of information, matching departure times, Jimin's facial expressions, and his unusual body language. Jimin appeared anxious, walked quickly, and didn't respond to the media, who called out his name. HYB, as of the time this article was published, has yet to release an official statement regarding this incident, and the agency's silence only adds to the growing list of unanswered questions. It's previously known that Jungkook had hinted at continuing his solo activities after completing several concert agendas. But there was no certainty about the shape of the project, whether related to international collaborations, a new album, or something beyond music. However, the fact that the trip was carried out quietly and suddenly remains a big question. Even more suspicious is Jimin's reaction, who appeared as though he was chasing someone or checking on something important. If Jungkook's departure had been long planned, why did Jimin look so surprised and uninformed? This situation echoes several moments in the past when BTS members traveled abroad for personal activities, which later turned out to be related to major collaboration projects. Usually, such information would be gradually revealed to the public to avoid wild speculation. This time is different. The lack of information from the agency, Jimin's anxious expression, and the very close timing to Jungkook's departure led many to suspect that a crisis or urgent issue has not been disclosed. One circulating speculation suggests that Jungkook's departure might be linked to a sensitive international negotiation project, and Jimin, long known to be very close with Jungkook, suddenly felt the need to step in the absence of official information. Several Korean entertainment industry analysts attempted to read the movements from a business strategy perspective. A source from Dispatch, who requested anonymity, noted that HYB is currently strengthening its international artist network, particularly in the US market, following the departure of several major artists from the agency in recent months. Movements by artists like Jungkook are likely part of HYB's global image recovery efforts. But when it's followed by unusual movement from Jimin, it opens the door to interpreting that something more personal is going on. They said, the issue isn't just about professional aspects. Some netizens have started revisiting interactions between Jimin and Jungkook in recent times, trying to determine whether there's an emotional dynamic at play. The relationship between Jimin and Jungkook has always been a point of fan interest because of their closeness that many believe goes beyond work colleagues. Though no official statements have ever been made about their relationship, their chemistry in various shows has often drawn attention. Additionally, some of the biggest fanbase accounts on Twitter revealed that Jimin was absent from previously scheduled public appearances, without clear explanation from the agency. This absence occurred just one day before Jungkook's flight to the US. This strengthens the suspicion that Jimin had heard or learned something that prompted him to immediately head to the airport, possibly to catch up with or intercept Jungkook's departure. However, another narrative emerged. Some believe that Jimin's movement could be part of a marketing strategy or shock factor, tactic often used by HYB to reignite public attention toward BTS during the military phase of most members. This strategy is not new in Korea's entertainment industry, where surprises or unpredictability are often used as promotional tools. But many argue that such tactics are unlikely to be used on Jimin, who is known to be highly private and cautious with uncontrolled exposure. The big question now is, what exactly is happening between Jimin and Jungkook? Is this part of HYB's grand plan? Or is it an indication of something more emotional and deeper behind the scenes? And should ARMY brace for a shocking announcement soon? A senior journalist from Newson, who actively observes HYB artists' movements, shared their view. We know that BTS, especially members like Jimin and Jungkook, are very controlled in all aspects of their public activities. If such an event occurs, it means something slipped out of their usual control pattern. It could be something big, or, on the contrary, something too personal to be allowed to leak to the public. In the latest development, rumors emerged that Jungkook was scheduled to attend a closed session with a famous music producer in Los Angeles. This information was leaked by a well-known US music blogger, but has not been officially confirmed. If true, then his trip is most likely related to a solo project. But this still doesn't explain Jimin's involvement, unless Jimin himself will be part of the project, something that has never been announced. Public reactions to this incident have been mixed. Many fans are worried, especially due to the lack of open communication from the agency. Some posted on fan forums that they felt something unusual about how Jimin acted. On the other hand, others tried to ease concerns by suggesting that it might simply be a timing coincidence and that Jimin had personal business unrelated to Jungkook. But given the sensitivity of BTS activities and the known closeness between the two, it's hard to dismiss it as mere coincidence. The public now waits to see if an official statement from HYB or the two members will be released in the coming days. So far, neither Jimin nor Jungkook has provided clarification via their personal social media. This absence of official information could escalate speculation further, especially if they're seen together abroad soon. Once again, this situation reflects the complex and dynamic lives of idols behind the scenes. Fame, busy schedules, professional pressures, and personal relationships under constant scrutiny. All of it creates a gray area that's difficult for the public to interpret without direct clarity from those involved. Is this a sign of an upcoming major collaboration? Did Jimin want to deliver something to Jungkook directly before a big project began? Or is this the beginning of a growing distance? Until all is revealed, one thing is certain. ARMY will not stop asking, and the world will keep watching. However, after being thoroughly investigated by several investigative media outlets and indirect clarification from HYB's internal parties, some important facts have emerged, shifting the direction of the previously emotionally charged speculations. According to statements from airport staff and internal sources who declined to be named, Jimin's presence at the airport on the same day as Jungkook's departure was, in fact, unrelated. Jimin was reported to be there for personal matters entirely disconnected from any activities involving other artists, including Jungkook. Furthermore, additional information revealed that Jungkook's trip to the United States had long been planned and was part of his postponed solo project following military obligations. The agency had internally scheduled the trip without making it public to maintain focus and efficiency during the overseas engagement. There was nothing sudden, no crisis, nor any emotional reaction as previously described by several voices on social media. The photos and videos of Jimin appearing hurried were confirmed to have happened in a completely different context, not related to Jungkook or BTS activities. It can thus be concluded that the rumors suggesting tension, a chase, or emotional involvement between Jimin and Jungkook during that moment are baseless and not aligned with on-ground facts. The public is advised to be more critical in consuming information and not to be swayed by clickbait narratives that lack strong evidence. This unofficial clarification is sufficient grounds to determine that the news that had stirred ARMY was simply an overinterpretation of two unrelated events happening at nearly the same time.